All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and Say It Ain't So once again is a salute to Judge Aileen Cannon for not bagging down against Jack Smith. If y'all seen my latest video from yesterday, all Jack Smith has been trying to do is bully the judge with these death threats, trying to force her to be on his side and to go against Donald Trump, kind of like what all these other judges are doing. And Judge Aileen Cannon ain't falling for his crap, because she know exactly what he's trying to pull. He's trying to keep a lot of information secret that he don't want her to say out loud. But Judge Aileen Cannon, she want to put everything out to the public. And Jack Smith is trying to stop her from doing that. And she is not playing with him at all. Once again, salute to Judge Aileen Cannon for standing up and being on the side of what's right and being a fair judge. Because all these other judges that's in Donald Trump's case is not being fair to him. They all are one-sided. So salute to her. And this one coming from Doug. I will leave the original video in the description. He said that Judge Aileen Cannon just hit Jack Smith with selective prosecution. Here we go. Here we go. Like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody that's showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody who clicked on the video for the very first time. I appreciate all of you. Y'all can do me a favor. Please hit that like button so more people can see this video. And please watch the video to the end, because YouTube will share it. And without further ado, y'all, let's dive straight into this, because I want to see what else just happened, because it seemed like at this point that Jack Smith just trying to be a bully. And she ain't falling for it, and she ain't finna let him do her like that. So let's go.
Where are we at with all of Trump's lawsuits? I'll fill you in. This one involves Judge Aileen Cannon out of Florida, with Jack Smith taking a shot at her. Nice try, not gonna work. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. This is where the happy patriots are, and this is where we watch the news. So I'd love to have you subscribe so you don't miss us. Where are we at with all of Trump's lawsuits? I'll fill you in. This one involves Judge Aileen Cannon out of Florida, with Jack Smith taking a shot at her. Nice try, not gonna work. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. This is where the happy patriots are, and this is where we watch the news. So I'd love to have you subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Let's get to this article from the Daily Beast. Now, this is going to be an anti-Trump, anti-Aileen Cannon article. But rest assured, they will hoist themselves on their own petard by the end. That means they'll commit hara-kiri. I keep using foreign expressions to try to clarify things, and it doesn't work. Jack Smith's subtle shot at Trump Mar-a-Lago. Judge Aileen Cannon. Federal prosecutors work on the Donald Trump Mar-a-Lago documents case are trying to convince Judge Aileen Cannon by pointing to cases she worked on at the DOJ. So this is an interesting role where the Trump team is trying to turn it back on Jack Smith, to go from them being the ones indicted to turning around and making a claim and a case against Jack Smith. And the case was once worked on by Aileen Cannon. Here we go. Faced with the federal judge in the Donald Trump Mar-a-Lago classified documents case, who keeps making bizarre rulings, clearly favoring the man who appointed her. Now, that is the Daily Beast's absolute Democrat spin, saying that her stuff is clearly favoring and that they're bizarre rulings. Just so you know, that's their spin on it. It's not true. What they mean by a bizarre ruling that clearly favors Trump, they're just not used to having a judge that isn't a hardened, Soros-appointed Democrat.
Right.
So see, to them, this is madness, going, how come she's not acting like a complete Marxist politicized judge? She's acting normal.
Right.
Oh, see, to them, normalcy is to follow their marching orders from Central Command. Federal prosecutors have restored to citing case law that Aileen Cannon should know. For one major reason, she worked on it herself. This is their big gotcha, going, oh, you should know this law. You wrote it. But even still, they will hoist themselves on their own.
They're ridiculous.
Department of Justice Special Prosecutor Jack Smith fired off a quiet shot across the bow at Cannon in a recent court filing, a filing that seeks to block Trump's latest ploy to morph this criminal case into some kind of wild goose chase against the Biden administration. It's going to work, too. I think if this ever goes to a higher court than these nickel and dime, Jack Smith guys, Trump could have a case. Although the Trump team has already received 1.3 million pages of evidence, the former president's defense lawyers are trying to bolster their clients' conspiracy-laden claims that this investigation is just a White House-led, quote, selective prosecution, unquote. That's the phrase that we're going with, that they're talking about. That's one they're trying to weasel around in this article. Selective prosecution. Selective prosecution. Because it's obvious that Trump is the victim of selective prosecution, if there ever was one, right? 5 indictments. They all come after he announces that he's running for president. I think he's got a good case. In search of, quote, political bias, they've asked Cannon to force the Department of Justice to turn over all kinds of documents under the guise of so-called, quote, Brady rules. I'm unclear on what that is, which require the government to disclose exculpatory information to a person charged with a crime. In short, it's a fishing expedition to delay the trial. Well, that's good for us. I'm all for that. And as it happens, Cannon herself worked on a case that established some clear restrictions on the kind of legal deep sea voyage. This article is so poorly written by the Daily Beast that I'm surprised anyone could actually understand it. He's using so much metaphor, trying to just hardcore make a case. I'm like, dude, just give me the facts. Real journalists go, look, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. This guy's trying to load it up with so much bias to convince you. Okay. Back when she was a federal prosecutor in South Florida, Cannon worked on a case involving a 2015 sting operation that caught 2 men who planned to rob a fake stash house of $1 million of cocaine, showing up with 2 AK-47s in their pickup truck. These guys showed up. It was a sting operation. And they're saying it was selective because the kinds of people that tended to show up, I'll read it so I don't get into trouble. One of them appealed his conviction by claiming he was subject to an unfair, quote, selective prosecution, unquote, on the grounds that the vast majority of stash house stings nab blacks and Hispanics. So
it'd be like a lot of these articles, it's like they be trying to be so one-sided. It's like they trying to force Miss Aileen Cannon to basically just lock Donald Trump up, prosecute him. It's like every single article. I've seen numerous of videos of people talking about, oh, Judge Aileen Cannon, she ain't being fair. So as soon as a judge, it's a judge that's trying to call it down the middle and be fair. Now Judge Aileen Cannon is the one wrong. But all the other judges that's in Donald Trump's case that's going against him because they are a Democrat judge, they don't like him. They got nothing to say because it favors them. Because that judge is on their side. But soon it's a judge that's calling it down the middle and that's not playing one side, now they want to call out Judge Aileen Cannon. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's on Trump's side because she won't do what we say do. Look what the recent article was saying about Jack Smith just trying to bully her, trying to force her to do something. Said, make sure you do this to Donald Trump. This is what I want you to do. Basically trying to tell the judge how to do her job. That's exactly what Jack Smith is trying to do. This whole entire time I've been saying is he's been trying to force Judge Aileen Cannon to do what he want her to do, and she ain't going for it. So a lot of times, like Doug said, these articles be so biased and one-sided when they don't get their way, when they can't just do whatever they want to do to Donald Trump and the judge ain't agreeing with their bull crap, then they want to call out the judge and try to say she playing a side because she's being fair and calling it down the middle. It's just ridiculous is how they do this.
He was probably, I don't know anything about this defendant, but he was probably black or Hispanic, got caught on a sting, and he goes, this is selective prosecution because you know that if you set up sting houses, you will tend to get blacks and Hispanics. That's the charge. I'm not weighing in on if that's true or not. That's none of my business. Only that there is such a thing as selective prosecution and that Judge Aileen Cannon worked on that term. Okay. Cannon had already been elevated to the bench when her old team won the case in 2021. By the way, that means that she was off that case. So they're trying to tie her to that case to make her guilty, saying she's somehow compromised. No, she was off the case by the time it went through. She was already a higher judge. With the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, pointing to long-established precedent that sets a, quote, demanding burden to make the kind of claim, particularly when trying to set off a document search for imaginary proof. Now that Trump is making a similarly spectacular claim, Smith's prosecutors have reminded Judge Cannon that her hard-won victory is the very reason she should rule against the former president. Defendants can't...
Yeah, this is crazy. Y'all see what Jack Smith is trying to do? It is just sickening. It just pisses you off the way this man... He pretty much thinks he just runs the courtroom. It's the reason why Aileen Cannon be just running him out of the courtroom. You know why she run him out the courtroom? Because he don't want to hear what she got to say. Like, it is just crazy. Look at this. Now that Trump is making a similar spectacular claim, Smith's prosecutions have reminded Judge Cannon that her hard-won victory is the very reason she should rule against Donald Trump. Boy, I tell you the truth, boy. Jack Smith is just so freaking corrupt, man. I'm telling you. This is crazy.
Prosecutors have reminded Judge Cannon that her hard-won victory is the very reason she should rule against the former president. Defendants can't just demand a government document dump by pointing to some flimsy notion of selective prosecution, the DOJ argued. Again, they're just loading it up, just declaring it flimsy. I'll give you evidence that it's not flimsy. How about he has 5 indictments within a 6-month period after he announces that he's running for president, and other prongs of attack of trying to get his name kicked off of documents.
Yep.
All in Democrat-run judges, Democrat juries, Democrat jurisdictions. In one case with Engeron, not even under a trial, just gets a judge. He's already declared guilty. In E. Jean Carroll's case, they passed a special law to allow them to...
And that's what I was saying. They passed a law just to help E. Jean Carroll out. Now, you telling me that's just selective outrage. They literally passed a law in New York just to help E. Jean Carroll out in her case against Trump. This is crazy. Like I said, look what Judge Engoron in New York said. Look what him and Letitia James trying to do. Like, everything just been so freaking one-sided. It's been so one-sided the entire time. And the time you get a fair judge, oh, now it's the judge's fault because she won't do what we want her to do. She won't lock Trump up. She won't show the proof that I want her to show. Like, it's crazy.
To go back and remove the statute of limitations to get him for sexual misconduct.
It was crazy.
How about that? I mean, it's clear. This is selective prosecution. Now look at Hunter Biden. Talk about selective leniency. He was caught not paying taxes, cheating on his taxes. He hasn't paid millions of dollars with taxes, owning a firearm, taking a picture of himself with a firearm while being a felon, while on drugs, under drug charges, smoking crack on camera, underage prostitutes on camera. I'm just saying, you can go off on all these guys. I think they've got a great case in this one on Trump getting selective prosecution. Let's hope that Judge Aileen Cannon helps turn the tables on Jack Smith.
Right.
And we jack it right back in on him. Because that's what this... See, the law is a weird thing. It cuts both ways. Once you set a precedent, you don't get to control. Even Aileen Cannon doesn't get to control it. They can just start pushing it into service and pushing it into service. And I hope they push this one under service. And at the very least, get a huge delay. Trump should go for selective prosecution, get a huge delay, just to make Jack Smith angry. I'm done.
Oh, yeah, just to make him angry. Once again, shout out to Aileen Cannon. Like I said, she's been doing a great job being fair and not, letting Jack Smith change her mind or pretty much force her to lock Donald Trump up. Because that's basically what's going on here. And this is what Jack Smith is just trying to do in the courtroom. Is the reason why you keep seeing in a lot of in a lot of these documents, a lot of these websites, and you hear these articles and stuff like that. You hear that she's hollering at him in the courtroom, screaming at him because he's trying to force her to do something. Then he uses little threats and stuff like that. So that's the reason why Judge Cannon been so freaking mad at Jack Smith, and rightfully so, trying to force this woman to do something. You ain't the judge, Jack. It's Judge Aileen Cannon. She's the judge, not you. So you can't be trying to tell this woman what she should do, because all you trying to do is force her to lock Donald Trump up. You just trying to win your case. It's exactly what you're trying to do by trying to force a judge to do what you want them to do, and it ain't the way it works. So to me, I think that's another win for Trump. Can't wait for this case here to be closed and we can move on to the next one. But make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.